If you're watching this video right now, it may not be a coincidence. Maybe it's because a part of you already knows what I'm about to reveal. There's something happening to you that doesn't fit into any logical explanation. You feel as if you're living multiple lives at the same time, as if different versions of you exist in parallel, and every now and then, those versions meet, overlap, and you're left completely confused about which reality is the real one. This is not madness. It's not imagination. And it is definitely not something you should ignore. What you're experiencing may be one of the deepest and least understood phenomena in the expansion of consciousness, the simultaneous perception of multiple timelines. What if I told you that you're not living just one linear life? What if every decision you make doesn't simply create a future, but activates a parallel reality that already exists? For the chosen ones, this perception doesn't come through deep meditation or advanced spiritual practices. It simply happens, suddenly, without warning. And once it happens, you never see reality the same way again. Before we dive into the 3 silent signs that reveal the universe is showing you multiple realities at the same time, I want you to understand something crucial. This isn't theory. This isn't abstract philosophy. This is happening right now, in this very moment, to thousands of people around the world who are going through an accelerated awakening. These people didn't search for this. They didn't read about it in spiritual books. They simply began to notice that something fundamental had changed in the way they experienced time, memory, and identity itself. And if you're feeling this too, you're not alone. In fact, you may be among those who were chosen to experience reality in a completely different way. So if you're ready to understand what is truly happening to you, stay until the end of this video, because the 3rd sign is the most disturbing of all, and it's the one that definitively confirms that you are not imagining any of this. The first silent sign that the universe is showing you multiple realities at once is something you probably experienced, but never had a name for that strange, sudden feeling of déjà vu that isn't just déjà vu. You know that classic sensation of feeling like you've lived a moment before? Well, this is different. This is deeper, more real, more unsettling. You don't just feel like you've lived that moment, you are absolutely certain you have. You remember details. You remember conversations. You remember physical sensations. And the strangest part of all, you remember a different outcome. Imagine this: you're talking to someone and suddenly, in the middle of the conversation, you have a vivid memory of having had this exact same conversation before, but in that version, you said something completely different. And you clearly remember the consequences of what you said in that other version. You can even feel the emotions from that alternate version of the conversation. This isn't just déjà vu. It's something much deeper. It's as if the universe is opening a window so your consciousness can access multiple versions of the same moment, happening simultaneously across different timelines. For the chosen ones, this starts happening more and more often. At first, you may think you're just confused or that your memory is failing. But then you notice a pattern. Every time it happens, you're at a decision point. Every time it happens, you're about to make a choice that could significantly change the direction of your life. It's as if the universe is whispering in your ear, showing you information from other timelines where you already made different choices. And now you have access to the wisdom of those other versions of yourself. This isn't coincidence. This isn't faulty memory. This is the universe operating through your consciousness at a multidimensional level, where linear time is only one of many ways to experience reality. And the more you move through this awakening, the more frequent it becomes. You start to realize that you're not just remembering the past, you're accessing alternate pasts, parallel presents, and possible futures all at once. Your consciousness is no longer trapped in the illusion of a single flow of time. It's beginning to perceive the true nature of reality. Everything is happening now, simultaneously, in infinite variations. But hey, race, where it gets truly interesting, these memories from alternate timelines are not passive memories. They carry emotional weight. They have sensory texture. Sometimes, you may even feel physical pain from something that happened in a different timeline. You may wake up with a deep sense of loss for something that never happened in this reality, but that you know, at some deep level, happened in another. You may feel longing for people you've never met in this version of your life. You may feel nostalgia for places you've never been. And the most confusing part of all is that these memories feel just as real as any memory you have from this timeline. There's no difference in the quality of the memory. Nothing signals that these are memories from alternate realities. They simply exist in you, side by side with the memories of this reality, creating a constant sense that you're living multiple lives at once. The universe isn't showing you these realities by accident. It's preparing you. It's expanding your perception so you can understand that you are not limited to a single timeline, a single version of your existence. If you've experienced this, leave a comment below saying, "Only I remember." You don't need to explain anything, just that phrase. Because when you see how many others are experiencing this too, you realize you're not alone. You realize this is real. And you realize something extraordinary is happening to human consciousness right now. But that's only the first sign. The second is even more unsettling. The second silent sign that the universe is showing you multiple realities at once involves a very specific physical sensation that almost nobody talks about, yet it happens surprisingly often among the chosen. It's that strange, sudden feeling of physical discontinuity. You're walking, doing something completely normal, and suddenly it feels like you skipped a few seconds. It's as if there's a tiny gap in your experience of time, a jump, almost imperceptible, but definitely there. You were in one place, doing one thing, and suddenly you're a few steps ahead or a few seconds in the future with no clear memory of how you got there. Most people who experience this think they just got distracted or had a brief moment of inattention. But this isn't distraction. This isn't lack of focus. This is something far deeper and far more meaningful. This is a universe literally moving you between different layers of reality. What is really happening in those moments is that the universe is orchestrating micro-time jumps within your consciousness. You are experiencing what I call dimensional slips, where the universe briefly transports you from one timeline to another. In those moments, you're not imagining things. You are literally experiencing a slightly different reality. And the most fascinating part is that often when it happens, small details around you have changed. Maybe an object you were sure was in one place is now somewhere else. Maybe a conversation you clearly remember having the other person swears never happened. Maybe you remember sending a message, but when you check your phone, it isn't there. These aren't memory glitches. These are physical evidence that the universe is allowing you to experience multiple versions of reality. It's showing you that the supposed solidity of the physical world is actually a very convincing illusion. For the chosen ones, this starts happening more often during periods of rapid expansion of consciousness. Your nervous system is undergoing a deep recalibration. Your perception is expanding beyond the limits of linear, three-dimensional awareness. And as a result, you begin to notice the seams of reality, the points where different timelines intersect and overlap. In these moments of microtime shift, you are literally experiencing fluidity of reality. You realize that what we call solid reality is actually far more malleable, far more fluid, and far more dependent on consciousness than we were ever taught. And the more you experience this, the more you realize there isn't just one timeline. There are infinite ones. And the universe is teaching you how to navigate them. It's not doing this to confuse you. It's doing it to awaken you to your true power as a multidimensional being. But hair raised apart, most people never realize these micro shifts are not random. They happen at specific moments, usually when you're in a high emotional frequency or about to make an important choice. It's as if the universe is constantly scanning different possibilities, different futures, different versions of reality, trying to guide you toward the path most aligned with your true essence. You're not just living a life. The universe is actively guiding you through an infinite field of possibilities, and your consciousness is becoming increasingly skilled at recognizing which timeline to experience. You don't consciously control this, at least not at first, but the more aware you become of it, the more you realize the universe is giving you far more power over your reality than you ever imagined. And here is something that will really make you rethink everything. These microtime shifts often happen while you're sleeping or in an altered state of consciousness, but the effects show up in your waking life. You may go to sleep in one timeline, and the universe may move you to another, slightly different one while you sleep. The differences are subtle, but they're there. An object moved. A memory doesn't match the current reality. A conversation you're sure happened no one else remembers. This isn't forgetfulness. It's physical evidence that the universe is constantly adjusting your reality, moving you among different versions of it, seeking the best alignment for your growth and evolution. And the more aware you become of this, the more you realize reality isn't fixed. It's fluid, it's malleable, and the universe is constantly working with you to create the most aligned version of your experience. If this is happening to you, hit the like button right now, because this is a kind of information most people will never understand. But you do. You know this is real. You're living it. And by leaving that like, you're confirming not only to me, but to yourself, that you're ready to accept the true nature of the universe and your role within it. But wait until you hear the third sign. This is the one that definitively confirms you're not imagining any of this. The third silent sign that the universe is showing you multiple realities at once is the deepest and the hardest to explain. But when you experience it, there is no doubt that something extraordinary is happening. It's that unsettling, sudden feeling of not recognizing your own life. You look around at the people, the places, the circumstances of your life, and feel a deep strangeness, as if none of this truly belongs to you. This isn't depression. It isn't dissatisfaction. It's something far more specific and far more disorienting. It's as if you woke up inside someone else's life. Or rather, as if the universe shifted you into a different version of your own life, a version that wasn't the path you originally chose. That feeling is not a mistake. It's a direct message from the universe telling you that you changed tracks, that you're now experiencing a parallel reality to the one you were living before. For the chosen ones, this often happens during periods of great change or transformation. Suddenly, you look at your life and think, how did I get here? Not in the sense of regret, but literally unable to clearly trace the path that led you to this point. It's as if there are gaps in the narrative of your life. Moments when you made choices that don't really feel like yours. Moments where things simply happen in ways that don't match your memory of how they were supposed to unfold. You may look at relationships and wonder, how did these people end up in my life? You may look at your career and think, this isn't what I truly wanted, so why am I here? You may look at where you live and feel a deep strangeness, as if this is not where you were meant to be. And what does that really mean? It means the universe moved you. It transported you from one timeline to another, usually to protect you, realign you, or place you on the path that best serves your higher purpose. What's really happening is that the universe is beginning to reveal to you that you jumped timelines, and the one you're in now isn't the one you were originally navigating. At some point in the past, likely during a period of stress, trauma, or deep transformation, the universe orchestrated a major shift in your consciousness, moving you from one timeline into another. And now, as your consciousness expands, you're beginning to notice that jump. You're beginning to remember a different version of your life, a timeline where you made different choices, and things unfolded differently, and that memory created a profound sense of displacement. But don't be afraid. The universe does nothing by accident. It moved you for a reason always connected to your growth, your evolution, and your alignment with your greater purpose. And hey, Race, what's truly extraordinary, this feeling of not recognizing your own life, is not a problem. It's an awakening. It's the universe showing you that you are not trapped in a single timeline. You are not trapped in a single version of your life. And more importantly, you're not trapped by the choices you made in the past. Because if the universe can move you between timelines, if it can show you multiple realities at once, imagine what becomes possible when you become fully conscious of that process. Imagine realizing that reality is not fixed, that your life is not a single predetermined path, but an infinite field of possibilities that the universe is constantly adjusting in response to your consciousness, your intentions, and your spiritual growth. For many of the chosen ones, this realization is the turning point. It's the moment they stop feeling like victims of circumstance and begin to recognize themselves as active co-creators with the universe. They realize that every moment is a point of choice, not just in terms of what to do, but literally choosing, alongside the universe, which timeline to inhabit. And the more aware you become of this, the more you understand that all these strange sensations are not signs that something is wrong, but signs that something is extraordinarily right. You are awakening to the true nature of reality. You are expanding beyond the limits of three-dimensional consciousness. And you are beginning to experience what it truly means to be a multidimensional being, consciously collaborating with the universe to navigate multiple realities at once. If you've made it this far, you are not here by accident. The universe guided you to this video because a part of you already knows this is true. You are here because you are experiencing exactly what I'm describing. And you are here because you are ready to accept that you are not who you thought you were. You are much more. You are a conscious being in partnership with the universe, capable of navigating infinite versions of reality. And the awakening you're experiencing isn't just about becoming more spiritual or more aware. It's about becoming fully aware of your true role as a co-creator with the universe of your reality. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me which of these 3 signs resonated the deepest with you. Do you have memories of alternate timelines? Do you experience microtime shifts orchestrated by the universe? Do you feel that strange sense of not recognizing your own life? Share your experience, because when we do this, when we share these seemingly impossible experiences, we create a collective field of validation that helps all of us understand that we're not alone, that this is real, and that the universe is actively working through each of us to expand human consciousness at this crucial moment in history. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because this is only the beginning. There's so much more you need to know about what the universe is doing with you, and about the powers you are developing as your consciousness expands in collaboration with it. You are one of the chosen, and it's time for you to fully understand what that means and what your role is in this great cosmic awakening the universe is orchestrating through you.